Alright, hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another brand new video. And in today's video it's going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be showing you how to edit a YouTube video. So there are multiple steps to actually record YouTube videos, and a lot of people may not understand all those steps, but there are multiple steps to actually get a video on YouTube, along with editing, making a thumbnail, and actually uploading it to YouTube. The first thing you're actually going to want to make sure of is that you actually have a computer that is able to run OBS, which is the software that you actually record your YouTube videos on. So the first thing you'll need to check is to go to the taskbar at the left corner of your Windows. Go to PC, go to this PC, right click it and click Properties. Then it's going to show all your information in Windows. So I have an i5-8300 CPU and it's clocked at 2.30 gigahertz. I have 8 gigabytes of RAM, which 16 is usually recommended, but 8 is fine. I have a 64-bit operating system, and that is basically all. I have a GTX 1050 Ti graphics card, which processes all my graphics. And if we go here to Chrome and we type in OBS requirements, you need a Windows, Mac, or Linux. You need an AMD Intel i5 2000 series. 4 cores are preferable, or a higher DirectX 10 capable graphics card. At least 4 gigabytes of RAM recommended. It's not necessary, but if you don't want to stutter and actually get smooth recordings, you'd want 8 gigabytes. So that is the main stuff of actually what you need to record the videos. Next step is actually editing your videos, and you're going to want to find a editing software that you can use. Now there are many editing softwares out there, but if you actually want a good one, then I would recommend Adobe Premiere Pro. Adobe Premiere Pro, it's the easiest one once you know how to use it. So let me just open it here. So when you get in Adobe Premiere Pro, you're going to have a bunch of different options. Now you're going to go to New Project and you're going to want to name it. So I'm going to do, just for me, I'm going to do Test Recording. And I'm gonna click OK. So then you're gonna be showed all this random stuff, and you may not know what it is, but basically what it is this is the timeline right here. This is where your video is actually gonna play, and it's where you can cut it and all that. This is your box where you import all of your effects and your transitions and all that. You can go to these browsers. For instance, if I go to effects, it's gonna show a bunch of presets, a bunch of presets, audio effects, transitions, video effects, and video transitions. So if I, for instance, say I wanted to, if you go to your project that you named, you can click this little sticky note in the corner, and this is gonna show you basically, say you want to do HD bars and tone. So it's going to say what resolution that you want to put it in. I'm going to put it in 1920 by 1080 because that's the basic resolution that everyone uses. So click OK, and it's going to show in the box. So how do you get this to actually play in your timeline? Drag it over, and there you go. It's going to show it right here. And then at the top, you're going to see that there's learning, assembly, editing, color, effects, audio, graphics, and libraries. What you're going to want to be on most of the time is editing. This is what is going to give you all of the text options and basically cutting everything up. So this right here is the razor tool. You can go to a place on the timeline and click with the razor tool, and it's gonna lock onto the time bar of where you actually put the marker. So you see when I put it on the timeline, there's a little arrow at the bottom right here that is locking onto it. So you're gonna click that, and then it's gonna cut it in half. Now you can select the selection tool and you can bring it over and put in a clip that you actually want. So, and then you get a beep effect. So, that is the basics of that. But say that you want to change the saturation or something like that. Well, you go to you go to color up here, and it's gonna show a bunch of different exposure, contrast, and basically all the color options that you would want to change on your video clip. So you can change the white and blacks, the shadows, the saturation, everything from that. So say I wanted to bring the shadows, so the outsides, the shadows are gonna be more brighter if I go up and more darker if I go down. But usually you don't want to mess with that unless you're making like a montage or something. Next up is like audio gain. Audio gain is what brings the volume of the video up. So say that it's peaks at -12. So if I play this and it's peaking at -12 right here, as you can see. So say I wanted to add 6 decibels of gain. That is going to bring it up to -6 dB. So it's going to play at a louder rate. So now this number right here should show 6 decibels. And it shows 6 decibels. So basically you're adding different amounts of gain to get the volume of the clip louder so that people can actually hear it. Next up is text. Now with text on this, all you have to do is click on the video clip right here and type something. So I'm just gonna put the word type something. Gosh, I can't even spell. So you have type something right here, alright? And you're wondering, how do I edit this? So go to the bar right up here. It says source no clips. So you're going to want to click the text button. It's going to show the text right here. Text type something under effect controls. Click this arrow right by the text and you will be shown a bunch of this stuff. So you can make a font that you can add to change the text. You can download these from the internet, or you can use some of these that are already in Adobe Premiere. So something I like to use is called Oblex Pro. That is right here. So say I wanted to use Oblex Pro. So I'm going to delete the text. I'm going to select Oblex Pro. And I'm going to type something. So type something. And this is going to give it like a blocky feel if you actually like this kind of text. And another thing you might ask is, what would I do if I want to center it in the middle? Go to graphics at the top, click edit, and it's going to show you the list. Now I'm pretty sure you can go over here and do it from here too, but if I were you, I would just go to graphics and edit, and you'll see these align and transform. It has a align the top, align vertically, align bottom, align left, align horizontally, or align right. So if I want to go horizontally, then if I want to go towards the middle, then there you go. You basically go vertically and horizontally, it'll center in the middle. So now you have a graphic effect that you can also drag against all of the video clips that you have. So let's see. As you can see, it goes over and then it disappears because the HD bars and tone disappeared. Next is sizing the text. So you want to make text really huge, but you don't know how to do that. Well, go to editing at the top and select the arrow, select the text, and go on the back arrow right here. This is going to be the scaling option. So say that you want your text to start. So say you want your text to start out the same size and you want it to get bigger on the screen, you're going to click the scale keyframe. This is going to make a keyframe, and it's going to start at 100 that it's actually set to. Move the graphic over a little bit and increase the amount that you want to scale it to. So say that you want it like 171. So now if I start it out, it's going to get bigger as time goes by. But say you want it to be quicker, take the keyframe that you made it bigger and drag it closer to the first one that is at the default scale. So now it gets bigger right away and it stays. So that is basically all of the main things that you need to edit with an Adobe Premiere, and now let's go on to the next step. So the next step is actually encoding your video, and what you will use for that is Adobe Media Encoder. Now what this does is it encodes every single frame of your video to make one single file. So say that you make a video and you wanted to convert it to MP4. Basically, what the encoder does is it encodes each single frame to your settings that you use, and it encodes it. Then you use that file to drag it into YouTube and upload it. And that's basically all. There's really nothing to the encoder, but that is pretty much all. Next step to this is Photoshop. This is basically what people are going to see when they click on your videos. If you want it to be professional, then you're going to want to open Adobe Photoshop. Alright, so now that you are in Photoshop, you're actually going to want to import your screenshot or anything that you took of what you're actually recording. So you're going to want to take a screenshot to make sure that you can actually import it in here and put text in all of it. Alright, so we're going to take this, we're going to save image, we're going to save it, and then we're going to drag it over to Photoshop. And here you go. Then, first thing you're going to want to do is put some text on it. So if you go to the top right here, let's say you want to say like amazing. Alright, amazing, okay? So let's just make that a little bit bigger so you can see it. And let's start putting, so basically what you want to do to actually like put some background to the text and make it look more professional is you want to go to the right here where it shows layers. It's all the layers of the actual things that you imported to Photoshop. So right here is the text. So I'm going to double click it, and it's going to show a bunch of different things I can add to it. So I'm going to add a drop shadow. So this is with the drop shadow, as you can see. This is without it. So it makes it look a lot more professional. You can change how much the size is and everything like that. Next is gradient. Gradients are basically two colors mixed together to make one that just looks really good. So there's a bunch of cool gradients that you can use, and some of them are pretty cool. So, you know, like this. This really matches this. I can't even believe I found that. But this really matches the picture. So next is arrows. So a lot of people have red arrows pointing in their thumbnails, and that's basically they just drop an arrow into Photoshop. It's pretty simple. So right click on this like star right over here and go to custom shape tool. Then go to the top. It's going to show shape. That's going to show what is selected right now. So go to the arrow and go down. So I don't know if Adobe Premiere actually has this, but when I got it, it didn't actually have the pack. It's basically called Arrow Abundance. This has a bunch of arrows that you're going to use in pretty much every single arrow. So you can use any arrow you'd like. say you want like a down, say you want like an up arrow. So you basically drag the arrow and double click it. Click color overlay and it will change to the color that you want. So you can move it anywhere you'd like. And that is basically that. So next is changing the saturation to make your video look, to make your thumbnail look a lot better. So go over to layers and click adjustments over here at the top. Go to HUE/saturation and it's going to bring up a menu. This is basically where you can add the saturation of the background. So some people go a little bit too overboard with the saturation like this. This is way too overboard. You would never need it to be this saturated. But I would say maybe around like 40. Yeah, maybe around 40, because this right here is with 0. And actually, I'd say go with 30. So that makes it look a little bit more professional. So now you have a amazing with a arrow, and you're looking a lot better from where you started. And this is what we had when we started. So as you can see, it looks a lot better, adding saturation, adding backgrounds, and making your clip look a lot more professional. So people will actually click on your videos. Last step is actually uploading it to YouTube. So once you have your thumbnail, go out of it and go to YouTube. So let me just look up YouTube. This is where you'll drag your file and you will upload your YouTube video, add a title, and you're done. So that is all the steps that you will need to upload a good YouTube video along with a thumbnail. And yeah, this is a little bit different from what videos I actually make, but I hope this helped a lot of people. And if it did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, put the post notifications, and join the Discord in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.